want you to tell us say who you are.
Remember who the hell you are.
Who am I? I'm Evelyn West.
Evelyn Boyce West.
Evelyn Boyce West.
And? And we don't know.
Question mark.
Timer, she doesn't remember.
Dot Bolio.
Dot Boyce.
No, oh yes, I forgot to put the boys.
You don't, I'm not going to make you tell me how old you are, but you can just tell me what year you were born.
Oh, big deal.
I'll take you.
Okay.
Okay.
I reckon I'll make it
In 81.
81.
Okay. Why don't you guys can talk to each other, I don't care, because I'm just going to write down the information. But just tell me what you remember when you were young and growing up about your parents.
I remember when he worked in the stone shed.
Your dad.
He was a polisher.
That's right, he polished the stone. He's got it up there in his graveyard.
Do you know where the stone shed was?
Yeah, one in Moista.
No, Barry.
He worked in Moista's stone shed.
Oh, see? I didn't remember that.
He worked in Barry.
He worked in Barry and Morrisville?
Uh-huh.
Do you know what the stone shed, what the name of it was in Barry?
No.
No.
How'd you get there?
I told you he rode to the Bloomfield.
On the broom?
Bloomfield, he lived in Morristown Corners. Come down and get that.
He rode with somebody from Morristown Corners?
Bloomfield.
Mr. Bloomfield.
Did
Did they
I
have a
remember
car?
that name.
Huh?
I remember that name.
You just go visit Dad?
Yeah. What kind of car did he have? Do you remember that?
No.
Just,
Well, it had to be an old one, Evelyn, because you're age one.
She remembers now Bloomfield.
Yes.
I don't.
do you remember what year that was or how old you were when he worked in the stone shed?
No.
Well, it had to be before you got
We
married.
moved down in the house there in 1924.
Oh, 2 years.
Evelyn, did that flood hit our house?
No. Daddy worked all night long helping other people save stuff.
I know, he was such a good man.
We had a family from Waterbury living with us during that flood there. I don't know how many they
Well,
came
Dot.
to visit us.
I don't remember.
I wasn't even born.
That was the year I was born.
You weren't even 2 years old.
And my mother told me,
Oh,
and
okay.
Beck told me,
I
that
don't
they brought the families in from Waterbury.
I don't remember that.
They had a hard time getting milk for us kids. There.
Because of the flood?
Yeah. There. Yeah.
Did you have your own garden?
Yeah.
That's
It does.
Worked out right away in the garden.
Remember her dad used to say, go get a potato or cabbage or turnip or something, and we couldn't have canvas. Didn't have the money.
Even raised chicken.
Yep.
You raised chickens?
And
Yeah.
Mom would go out and cut the heads off.
Yeah.
Our dad did, because he didn't want us to watch
Mom got a lot that he used to can. Had a canning school there somewhere in Morrisville.
They had a canning school?
I think up there where the, where they have the senior house. You know, where the seniors go to eat, right?
Yeah.
No,
Right there.
Oh, at that church there. Yeah, that's where it was.
Remember?
Sure it was. It was a canning house? Like a cannery or?
You could go and take your own bed sheets
Yeah,
there and can it.
They can them. They're like,
I think you had to take your own.
not glass
bed.
cans, no, tin cans.
Tin
Yeah,
cans.
tin.
I think that the food, the stuff was furnished, but you had to go do the work.
Mama had her own food.
Yeah.
We took chicken.
Always had vegetables.
So you took your produce there and
Mama
canned it?
had, yep, chicken and vegetables.
Was it like a cooperative, like a co-op type of thing where the people owned it together and did it together, or did they have to pay to
They
do
didn't
it?
pay to do that. They didn't pay to
It's
do
free,
it.
wasn't
It
it?
was free.
Too bad they don't have something like that today.
They do.
You remember Doc,
Well, they do, Marge.
you remember we got talking about the chairs, every time we were bad, Dad would make us go get our own chairs?
I don't think she
No, Evelyn never, it was bad, it was
Give
usually-
your chair. God, that should have been put on his gravestone, shouldn't it, Marge? There on the chair. But he got me in so much problems. And Marge, you too.
Well, how about you putting the step up so I fell in the hole going up the stairs and got a whipping?
She did that?
You wouldn't believe the thing she did
I
to
had
me.
to go up the stairs. Remember there was a step there where you could put your, overshoes, your shoes.
Yeah, it opened up.
Yeah, on both sides.
Yes,
And when my
She was
father
supposed to
fell,
put your shoes there.
Margie, it sort of fell.
The smart one in the family was Isabel, because every time she was bad, she'd let you sleep in front of the bed. The three
Why
of
don't
us.
you, go over and sit on the couch, so I can get all of you.
I don't look good.
Little just as we do.
Not really. She was mean, Doc. Do you remember?
Yeah.
She'd say, "Oh, Marge, you can sleep in front of the bed tonight."
Oh, yeah,
Dad would come up the stairs and who got the lick in? Marge.
Yeah.
Because he thought it was Isabel. She changed places with me.
See, we
Took
were
me quite a
supposed to
few-
be home at a certain time. We weren't married. We stayed out longer than we were supposed to. Well, my father didn't get your damn car.
Why was Daddy so afraid of the gypsies? Besides
He
them
thought that-
trying to steal me.
That's right.
But why was he so
Yeah,
afraid?
everybody told the kids that day the gypsy would steal you.
Maybe
You
we
mean
were
they had-
better,
they
maybe we
knew
were
that they
better
were stealing?
paid with them than we were.
But everybody, they ever knew they kick you out. Daddy not the only one that ever said that.
No, but we used to hide underneath the bed even.
Yeah.
I never hit anything.
Oh,
But
I know.
all I wondered is why would the gypsies steal you? They probably couldn't feed
They
themselves.
love to steal people. Back in them days, they did.
They used to come and watch them trade horses, all I ever knew them to do.
They used to
They
go
traded
to the
horses.
fairs, they used to go to the
But I never
fairs.
known to steal any kids.
Well, I know Daddy would bring us all in and lock the doors and tell us we couldn't go out.
He was afraid for us.
He loved you.
You could not
Well, he used to
trust
say
them.
that the gypsies left me instead of
That's
trying to
right.
steal me, Evelyn.
But Daddy used to tell me, they tell me I named the cabbage patch, so much different.
Well, he was a storyteller in his day, wasn't he?
Oh, God, the
He was like a red skeleton with about too many laughs.
So get your chair.
So you moved to the house in Warresville in 1924,
Well, we lived in another house, we moved down to the house that Daddy built in 1924.
and your dad built that house?
Yeah. You know what, in Morrisville, Robin,
Mm-hmm.
there was a building there on where Sparks lived.
Next
They
to
used to
Christ.
build, yeah, that's where.
A church.
That's what.
Oh, Mr. Virgin, you
That's
should come every Saturday
where our barn
Now,
was.
how we built the house, they cut the timber off and Uncle Herb's and Uncle Ellen up there on the farmhouse. He had it sawed out, and that's how we built the house.
But if we moved there in 1924, Dot, you was born 1926,
No, 7.
then you were born,
In the church?
no, in the house. Because I was born down the house in 1928,
I don't know, Mark.
and you were 1 year, 11 months older than me.
11
We
months.
moved down in 1924. We was there 3 years before. I remember that in May.
Oh, you remember
And
that?
the lumber came from the Boyce farm in Wolcott.
Had it sawed
What?
out.
Yeah, West Elmore, East Elmore.
So did your father build the house
All
himself?
carpenters.
Well, he was a carpenter.
Yeah, but he hired other people, he didn't build it all by himself.
I remember he used to tap our shoes. We did one pair of shoes a year.
Yeah, I should, yeah, the goddamn thing with it.
He
Stood
said-
up there
He
and
got that.
shaped like a
He got it at a tanner. He got the hide over to the tannery. He worked there for a while. That
I don't
day.
remember the.
We had one new pair.
Yeah.
One new pair of shoes a year.
And then he sewed the back
Oh,
side.
yeah. Lot of taps on them, you know. That's so you was really getting tall.
Remember how Freddie used to laugh? He says he always took the old tap off, but Freddie says, no, I'll be able to go back and forth, get my balance.
I don't remember the damn.
So what were the taps?
Put a piece of leather, put it over your shoe and tap it on with his nails.
Yeah,
So
but
instead of getting a new shoe, you see,
everybody did that.
instead of going to
Yeah,
the
everybody
shoe
did it.
store,
That way,
Yeah.
everybody did that. Everybody did that, not just Daddy.
he
No,
did
no,
that
no,
to a lot
everybody
of the others on that
Everybody
street.
did that.
So what he did is he put like an extra piece of leather on the front of your shoe so it wouldn't wear out?
No, you trim it, makes your shoe. Then he trim the leather off that he didn't use, and he had little nails. Dad and Mother West did the same thing.
Back in our
They
days,
did.
back in our days, it wasn't any rubber soles. They were
Oh, no,
tennis. It was leather. Your shoes were all leather. And your leather wore out after a while, so Dad would just take the old piece off and put a new tap on. He had a shoe thing.
So is a tap a sole?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I didn't understand what the tap was. At first I thought that you all were tap dancers.
I think we got
It was a new
one.
sole on your shoe.
It was a leather sole that you put on your shoe.
Everybody did it now.
Yes, they all, well, everybody
Oh,
had to
he
do
did
it.
it to a lot
During
of
the
people
Depression,
down their street.
Nobody had money during the Depression.
No, they did not.
At first I thought
But first, when I was young, my father went and said he had money. I can even remember that we had a Santa Claus.
you had Santa Claus.
He had hired somebody with Santa Claus suits, I picked through the keyhole.
Why weren't we born back then, Dolly? Daddy was a Santa Claus with a bell.
So Evelyn, when do you remember that the financial situation changed for your father and mother?
Or did you?
Were you older then? Or were you still
He
young?
had begun work for the sheds.
After he got sick and,
After he got done the shed, didn't earn so much money. When he worked for Ed, he got good money, everybody was buying automobiles, and everybody said he should go buy a car for Ed, and Dad said, no, I want to build a home for my family, because we lived in a home land, one very good house. They called it the castle.
It sure wasn't a castle.
It was an apartment downstairs and us an apartment upstairs.
so it was a 3-family
Yeah.
dwelling.
Yeah. It's also an Allen.
Yes.
So he didn't buy a car, he bought a house.
Yeah.
Made a house.
So you don't ever remember him driving a car then?
He never had a license, he couldn't drive no car.
Did you have a horse?
No.
No.
So you walked?
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
you walked?
When Millie came up and his daughter came from Massachusetts, she had a car, we'd go now, huh?
Or you go up on the hill with it, up on the farm with it.
And that was Millie and Clifford.
And when you and Dick had a car,
Yeah.
we went up there too to see.
So Millie is your half-sister?
Yeah.
How you doing, Norm?
Oh, I guess this is just about ready for the peanut butter.
So you never had a car and you never had a horse?
No, we walked.
But we had 2 good feet.
Well, we walked the stove, the Johnson,
Did everything.
Magic, the woke up.
But that was after Daddy died. He wouldn't let us go anywhere.
No, you would not.
No,
So
very strict.
when he got sick is when the financial situation
Yeah,
changed
yeah.
and he was poor.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he had his leg taken off?
Yes.
Yes,
I do
Do you
too.
remember when that was, how old he was and?
wasn't he,
I was married.
he went down
I
to
think it was-
Burlington to have
I
that
think it was
done.
about
Didn't he go
1937.
by train?
He died in 1941.
Yes.
Yes, but he didn't have his leg off too many years before he died.
No.
Because I can remember when he had his leg taken off.
So if he had it taken off in 37, that was 4 years that he was without a leg.
Let me see.
He made his own legs there for
He had a sore on his leg when Jackie was born. That was Jackie was born in 1937.
You see what they did, Robin? They scraped his bone down at Berry Sanatorium because they thought Grandpa had TB of the bone. And it never healed. It was like an ulcer. So I used to have them take care of it.
That's what my son said.
Then when the doctors told him he had to go and take it off, there.
wouldn't heal.
No? Never felt good.
I think it was about 37. He didn't have that leg off too many years before he died.
No.
So what,
When Jackie was born in 1937, he didn't have it taken off then.
so he must have had it
He had
taken
it
off
bandaged up.
maybe in
Must have had-
38?
I know.
1938.
I know he made his own artificial legs
On wheelchair.
and made his own wheelchair.
Yeah.
Boy, he was good, wasn't he?
That's
So how,
And when he drilled the holes in his armchair, Mom got mad.
Well, we got
He
married.
did that. Well, he did it so he could put his razor
He used
up
to do a
there.
lot of irritating to Mom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you weren't there.
You weren't there. He drilled a hole in that shed.
And he didn't call her, she called him Fred.
You know, he had one hole in
They weren't a loving couple.
It
I never saw them kiss one another.
I did. Yes, I did, and we were so tickled.
I never did.
We did, it was a little smicker, a little smack, wasn't it? It was cute.
I never saw.
Stop by, well, we didn't see.
You went out
around
when he made the,
They
ended the
They
goddamn
never even much said they loved us. I never had my folks say, I love you. Never, never, never. Person never said I love you was my husband. That hurt.
Well,
I didn't think.
I don't remember them saying too much love to me either, but I knew they loved me.
Yeah.
No, that maybe they did, but they could show it a little bit.
Well,
Don't you ever,
Back in the
don't you ever
day,
tell your daughter, I love you?
Yeah, so I was wondering where you guys got it from, because you tell us all the time.
because it was never told to us.
Never told to us.
But
I do all mine, my grandchildren, good.
I never got a kiss from my mother and my father. I don't have outside the ears.
Well, you didn't get sent away from the tables many times. I did, though.
It hurt.
I just sat next to Dad. My ears have been for a week before
We had that, remember what was it, buffet?
Yes, and you made it up.
Had a mirror in it.
I don't like it all the time.
I made posters and she kept laughing, so that they just can't tell about you get away from the table.
I don't think I ever completed a meal.
No, you don't.
All because of you, and I was the fattest one in the family.
I pushed off in the room.
But you know something, my meal was always cold anyway, so it didn't matter, because we had to pass it around the table, and I was the first plate going around. Remember that?
Yep, that always.
No, you had to clean up your plate. You don't want
Well,
to eat.
yeah, but we couldn't eat, everybody got their plate.
He always said, now don't take more than what you want to eat, because you know you gotta sit there and clean it off.
Yes, and he always made you eat the cake before you did the frosting.
I never cared for frosties,
I
I
did.
never feelings in it.
I love the sweets, and
I don't love frosted on my cake.
cake first.
So how old was your mother when your father died?
Very young.
Very young.
Let me
He
see.
was up at
He
the
was
hospital
17 years
in
older
Australia.
than Mother, and Dad was 67 when 68 when he died.
So she was 50.
I got his death certificate, 68.
67.
They liked so much about the ages, the both of them, it's just hard to tell. I mean,
So she was 50 when he died,
Right.
approximately 50.
if she was, it's
Did
just
she want
barely.
a man?
She was up at
He
the
died in 1941. What year did she die?
May.
What the happened was May. May 1st.
Mother was 85 years old when she died in 1978,
9?
9?
Well, 70 and 9. 79.
So tell me, what your mother did for work. Did your mother work when you were young, Evelyn?
No, that hard girls.
She did me.
They had money back in her day.
So she
Yeah, girls.
in Magna.
So she had people come in and clean the house
Yeah.
and stuff?
She didn't
Yeah.
work.
The one that really moved in and did most of her work was Aunt Mamie.
Yeah.
I know that because Daddy told me.
That made me do.
And how many kids were there?
Or Tato said she worked.
There's 8 of us.
There was some girl that worked for them that was a cripple in one leg. She dragged it.
Can't remember.
Hey, Mama?
She worked for Mother. I can remember her. I can even see what she looks like. Skinny woman, and she dragged one foot.
I never remember.
Yeah, she did.
I don't remember.
But
Mamie.
I guess all I can say with you, Doc, I don't remember too much money around the house.
No.
We had
None.
to work all the time. I mean,
That's how come Johnny
taking gambling drinks to you name it.
Johnny came home.
Johnny came home because Dad didn't want Johnny to come home to support us.
Oh, God, they had a
But he did.
big fight about that. Well, you know, the town was taking care of us from, and it didn't.
I always saw Daddy had money, I always give Mama money.
No? We didn't.
Daddy did have money in your day with him because I know they used to tell us that.
They did, we had scarlet fever and Daddy had money, we couldn't spend our money.
But all I can remember is not having money.
That's right.
Because I had to carry Mr. Skinner's dinner pail to him when I was 8 years old, and I went to a store to work when I was 9. Plus I was working for everybody in town cleaning their houses with Mother.
Baby.
I never missed a pair of babysat.
I babysit when before I got married, but I did it because I wanted to.
I was babysitting when I was in 5th grade.
See, they had Johnny come.
And I didn't have the money either.
Instead of,
I was babysitting.
Yeah.
Georgie was born, I bought all of her
we
clothes.
had to go up there, Robin, and get permission to
mistake, you
get
should have let her
groceries,
freeze.
clothes, or anything, you know?
So where was this Dot that you went?
We went up to, where was it, to the, Mr. Lamphere, what did you, feed store.
You had to go and have a paper sign.
Yeah, coffee, was it Carl
He was head of the town for the poor people.
We went up there, even if we had new shoes, how come we didn't have very many shoes or dresses?
We got,
Our dresses were $1.98, remember, Marge?
I know that
You can't look at them other ones, they tell
They
you.
were all white.
$1.98.
the dresses were.
Well, good God, when I was married to Dick, you could buy a pair of shoes for $1.
But you can't do it.
Well, Evelyn, Dad made us have boy shoes, because they
Yeah.
lasted longer. We never had those girly shoes. Never
And
fit
that,
like
you
that.
saw that picture you got me. Them are kind of shoes. Them are shoes, not tennises.
They never wore tennises.
Leather, were they lace up in the front?
Well, you gave me a picture of me, that was it.
Yeah.
Them long stockings, long
Long
underwear.
long underwear had to be worn to May 30th.
That's
Memorial Day, we could take them off. That was a must with Dad. Long stockings, but we used to roll his cheek and roll them down. Little underwear.
We always wore long stockings.
Remember how we used to cut the legs off and long underwear, man?
When I was married to you,
Yes, but
heavy
Dorothy,
stockings.
I think you're the one that told me it was a good idea. And now that I sit here thinking about it, you told Dad that I did that, and you did the same thing, and you told me to, and I got the licking and you didn't. I think I owe you a
You
couple
get
of
pretty much a
bucks.
lot bigger, I never got no
You didn't get the licking. Not licking. Because you were a good girl, they weren't really licking.
I never saw Daddy lay a hand on him, but.
You never got the ding on the ear?
Yeah, yeah. I got that, but.
I got that when I
Never
was
got
just underneath the chair.
He would threaten you with a razor
You know
strap, but I
something-
never somebody get in.
Let me tell you,
Nobody did.
let me tell you
Nobody.
something about your father that maybe you don't know.
What?
He had the best damn years in the town of Morrisville. Dot and I'd be whispering on who's gonna wash and who's gonna wipe dishes, and you'd be way in the living room and could hear it. And he would come out there, and you could hear him coming with that squeaky leg of his, and asked what we were talking about, and Dot and I said nothing. Well, we got punished, but it wasn't a licking. We always had to go upstairs to bed or
That's
anything.
right.
We always had to do dishes.
Remember when he cut
Said,
down
"Mama,
the
we're all
road,
there." I sit down and.
Cut down our tree, our horses.
because you got hurt and fell, went running into
Got hurt and
Dad.
fell, Dodge.
Dad.
Captain and I always.
Dad
did dishes.
never said a
Never
word.
wanted to wash.
Robin, he just went up and cut open
She only wanted to wait.
When we
You
got
know,
hurt,
for an old black stove, that stove was really a nice clean stove,
well,
wasn't
Mother
it?
cleaned it with wax paper.
God, it was clean.
Yeah.
The
Everybody used
stove,
to do that. I used to too.
bread wrappings from the bread.
That's right.
It'd make it shine.
Yeah, always looked.
You mean like instead of blackening the stove, they...
Oh, Dad blackened it every so often, but Mother would polish it with the wax from the bread wrappings.
Everybody did that, and Mother West did the same thing.
I did too. And with mine.
But did it smell when it would...
It smelled a little.
Oh, yes, it smoked it up a little bit, but
Not to say so.
no.
So you burned wood?
Yeah. That helped.
We had no
Oh,
furnace. We
did
had
y'all?
a kitchen stove and a living room stove.
I had a pot belly in the.
Dad had a root cellar down in the basement.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate to
And
go
you
down there.
wanted that
Scared to death.
candy, you tell us, go down and get a raw apple, cabbage, turnip, or whatever was done
He
there.
even put his eggs in a great big crock.
The eggs were in a crock?
Cold storage.
Did you guys have a refrigerator?
No.
No.
And
Ice
I
box.
thought,
An ice box?
Didn't have a bathtub either.
So where'd you
Take
put
back
the
in the wash tub.
wash tub?
Great big huge wash tub.
Did you have running water?
Yeah.
Yes.
A toilet, but no bathtub.
And you had electricity?
Yeah.
we had telephone.
But I never considered we were poor.
No, we didn't, did we?
We made our own decorations for the Christmas tree. I remember Dad used to call it a good fun night, cranberries and a popcorn.
No, I did that when I was a kid.
Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it? And he made us our little guns and he had little,
Remember?
we let us shoot each other with them upstairs across the railing.
Yeah.
I don't
When
remember that.
somebody would get hurt, me, Dad would tell us to take and put it up a kindling.
I always got hurt. You know, they always aimed for me. I was so big, I guess.
With the COVID. So.
I know that's not, we had nothing to rip on it. Nothing is have too much. Nothing is have too much.
No, well,
For
we didn't back in those
We
days.
had plenty of handkerchiefs.
Yeah.
Oh, good, they had them all over the tree.
We don't never, just 'cause we come.
No, no,
You cold?
no, I'm going home,
Don't do
get
it.
Marshall's lunch.
Oh,
I just asked if you was going home, you said, I just said you weren't hurrying.
don't forget to take your fudge.
I already got it covered up.
All right,
Let's see what's.
thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
We'll try some more.
It smells wonderful in here.
Yes, it does.
Yes,
Yes,
you wanna
ma'am.
have some of the chocolate, have you? I like
I
that.
love the chocolate.
Me too, I'll have a piece. I'll beg a piece of chocolate fudge from you before I leave.
I'm gonna.
Do you remember the,
Oh, you didn't make
No.
chocolate?
Can you remember the horse that Daddy got from when the fairs came to town and some horses were broken on the merry-go-round?
Yeah.
Dad repaired them?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to use your holder. I'll turn
You
it back in.
want that wooden, the wooden
No, no,
thing
that's okay,
there?
I'll put this on
All right,
my.
I'll see you.
Can you get the door? You want me to get it for you?
No, I got it, thank
I'll
you.
kick out the door.
And Dad would repair the horses and paint them for the merry-go-round? And they gave us one.
Yeah, remember how he took it and he put it up on the,
A swing.
Yeah, but also on the porch there. Mom didn't like that very much because he was
Oh,
old.
I love that horse.
We did.
that was good.
We finally got rid of that.
Well, we got fighting over it one day.
Is that-
Then the tail would come off and we used to stick stuff down in the...
Yeah.
I remember the girls all had roller skates, you could roller skate, and I
Oh, we
could roller
didn't have
skate.
only one
I
pair of
don't-
roller.
Sure, but somebody gave them to us in a box.
I remember roller skating.
One pair.
I never knew how to roller
Remember?
skate.
Isabel had them.
Probably
We
from
didn't have
one of the rich people.
The
didn't
girls,
have
when
one.
I was married, I used to come down, the girls would be roller skating on the porch, I never knew.
Well, you know, Evelyn, we could have bought them ourselves because
Never
Maybe that-
money.
Brought them back, your holders, I got it on the card.
Okay.
See you later.
See you
Bye.
later, kid.
Bye.
I never could ride a bicycle, Johnny would let me touch it.
well, John was lucky he had a bicycle.
We
The
didn't.
dog mom had to borrow ours. We never had a
We never
bicycle.
did.
So who lived at home after you left home, Evelyn? How many kids lived at home?
All of
They
them.
all did, except me.
No, not all. Catherine wasn't there. I don't remember
Well,
Catherine being there.
yes, I do. Catherine was there.
I don't remember.
So when you two were young-
George.
When you two were young and growing up before your father died, who was living at home then?
Georgie, she's 5 years younger than we are.
Two.
And Isabel got married in
16. She was like
1939. Let me see. I got married in 1945. She got married in 1940. Year before Daddy died, because little Harv died, remember?
Yeah. Harv and
Daddy died right
then
after
your
the-
kid, remember? Your kid died.
Jackie, yeah.
You know what Dad said? So there's usually 3 deaths in the family.
And
He
the
was
what?
gonna be next.
Jackie
He told
died.
me that.
Jackie, little Harvey,
Jackie
and
died
Dad.
in 1937. 1938, born 1937, died in 1938.
There.
I can remember.
I remember Daddy didn't like it, that means to him.
I can remember on Sunday nights that
Papa.
we had to be quiet so Dad could listen. Who was that newscaster, Dot, that said sad news tonight?
I so did Dad listen.
Who was that?
I can't remember.
Who you couldn't even whisper?
He's dead now.
Oh, he loved that.
I wanted to yell.
See,
You
Dad,
can remember?
I remember him.
I can remember that voice.
you know, and Reed,
He loved to listen to Amos and Andy.
Yes, Amos and Andy. He loved Amos
That was-
and
that
Andy.
was-
they used his, lot of Dad's land for his ruined cars there, you know?
Junkyard?
Yeah,
Jim Reed.
yeah.
He
That's
let-
how come they gave me
He
the
let Jim Reed, he
radio.
let Jim Reed use the land.
For
That's how
junkyard?
come they gave the radio to
They were awfully good.
Dad.
They were awfully good to
Oh,
Daddy.
they-
Johnny worked down there for a while, down to Jim Reed.
'cause we went to a lot.
Now, was Jim Reed's were Lakeside Garages?
Yes, yes.
They were so good. He came with the teams at noon, remember?
Yep.
They loved Daddy.
Yeah, Rupert.
Oh, when he went down there, he wanted to use some of the machinery that he didn't have.
Yeah,
And we made that darn ice cream freezer.
Boy, Ma was mad that day, wasn't
Well,
she?
the milk was all over the
Well,
back
darling, we didn't
porch.
have much milk.
Skim milk from over to the cream.
Believe me, no, we
We
had
had to
the
go and get the ice.
So how did you get the milk from the Primy? You walked over and got it?
It was free.
Free.
It was skim milk. They gave it to us. Dad, Dot and I used to have to go get it. And when I was over there, I can remember Dad said, don't be over there long. And they'd give us some ice cream.
Mhm.
So we didn't mind going get the
Yeah,
milk.
no, but that was later when you was working at the restaurant, Margie. Remember when we delivered
You worked with
sandwiches?
kids, so what you did?
Yeah, but remember when you worked there at, during money?
Right, Griggs?
No, not that good, there's another place across the road there.
You know something,
We
Dot?
used to take stuff over to the creamery,
I can tell you something. I can't,
Sandwiches, coffee, and tea. You know, we used to run there and so forth.
I can't ever remember not working.
I know, we
And
did.
that's the truth.
Yeah.
You remember
But you had that job, we went over there, forget what you got an hour. I used to go with it to help her. They'd order coffee, you know, they didn't have no restaurant or anything over there, that creamery,
So you worked at a restaurant, you delivered the food to the Primy
No,
people?
I worked at the restaurant, at a bakery. There was a restaurant that your mother put the stuff over
Keep
there.
trying to
for
tell you.
lunch or
It was
coffee.
Joy Griggs' restaurant right on the corner is where I
No,
worked.
no, another one.
Another one. Where
Ellen,
was that?
Going down the hill on the opposite side of the road, there used to be a little restaurant.
You're talking about the Bijou Theater.
No, across
I
the
don't
road, across the road, there was a restaurant.
Where Taylor's is?
I don't remember.
There used to be a restaurant over there, Marjorie, and we used to take their coffee, tea, sandwiches, whatever the hell they ordered. You and I used to take them over there, and you
Yeah.
used to get
Yes,
that.
there was a restaurant. Ruth Lambert worked in there. Ruth.
That's right.
Yes, I read it. Now I remember, Dot, you're bringing back a guy. How old was I went to work? 7? I worked at Richards when I was 9. Boy, I worked a lot. I wonder if Dad hid that money somewhere and he saved it all.
Remember the
clothes he made us in our wagons? You know, Dot, we had the best toys.
Mom and Daddy must have money, because Dick and I used to come down and see Daddy. Mom would be off to the movies.
Well, we had
I didn't have no good job.
I used to go nights to movies.
I didn't go to the movies. They
Dick
didn't
and I
have
come
money
down and
for
Dad
me
would be
to
sitting
go.
there playing songs there. We'd say, where's Mom? And he said, the movies. He said,
That's
you wouldn't
fun.
mind going over to Hyde Park with your Dick and get me a bottle of Valentine beer. And Dick would, Mom, give me hell, because Dad had a bottle of Valentine beer.
Well, he made his own booze.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he
We
wasn't.
used to have to have
Yeah,
him
but
tell
he used to drink Valentine beer then.
Valentine beer? I
Just
can
buy it.
remember that.
One place you buy it was over to Hyde Park.
Mother was nothing against alcohol. She always was.
Yep.
Always. I never known her to drink.
No.
Every day, she used to go with Johnny to Connecticut, and she'd tell me she'd been to the restaurant and had a beer.
Well, maybe a
Good.
beer,
Yeah.
but not drink. Dad loved his beer.
So your mother never, your mother never remarried or had a boyfriend after her husband?
Yeah, she had a boyfriend.
Ah, yes, she did.
I wouldn't.
I told her off.
I thought, not that.
I
One,
wouldn't.
the boyfriend, good for her.
Not that one, not that one.
Well, when are you talking about that?
Well,
Right? That's the only one I knew.
he's the only one that gave us a ride in the car.
He gave me a ride. She's gonna show that to
He
somebody.
brought him down to the house for me to
That
visit.
old Ralph Jack money used to take Billy and I for a ride in a goddamn old Model T. Sit on my lap and I'll learn you how to drive.
Mm.
He learned you how to drive.
You don't nothing,
Did
but
He all over and I went home and told Mom, my mama told me I was a goddamn liar. She
Christina
said that.
went home.
When Daddy died, I'd go up to see Mom, and she lived up over the drugstore. Who'd be up there? Goddamn Ralph Jackman, I did this to your Mom. If you see him, don't you ever see me again, 'cause I'll never come in this house again.
who's the house you had?
I hated that Ralph Jackman.
Oh,
He would leave me. Huh? He was good for nothing. He had Grandma Ickley, he had Murdy, he had Mimi, he had...
He was a Romeo.
Oh, he was welcome.
You know it, don't ya? Daddy hated his guts.
Oh, he used to bring
Well,
it down.
you can really get in the nitty gritty there, because Mother used to hate Dad's girlfriends, Evelyn.
Yeah.
Now, how about Ortez Prano's mother? I mean, Mother hated her.
Oh, yes.
And what about
The other.
Dale Grace? My God, Mom was so
Oh.
jealous of her, it was pathetic.
Dale was a nice person.
No, she was nice.
Well, nice.
She liked
was
Dad, too.
visiting Dad every night.
Good God, she was a lot younger than Daddy.
That doesn't matter.
What?
So was a Mom a lot younger than Daddy? 17 years.
There was some family hanky-panky going
Dale
on.
just come over and sit with me. Mom would be working and I was home and having Jackie and Dale just come over and sit with me.
You see, I can't remember Mother not working. Mom always worked. She worked for everybody in the town of Morrisville, scrubbing everybody's home. And,
What she did,
She was a hard-working woman.
10 cents an hour.
Yeah, oh.
Remember when she used to walk all the
and
way
our
out
paychecks
there?
in Woodlands
Yeah, I
Bakery
know,
all went
that's
to...
Yes.
We didn't even see our paychecks from the bakery after Daddy.
No.
We never saw him when Daddy was alive, Christ, as far as that goes.
Yeah, but that goddamn Ralph Chapman, I hated his guts.
So, I mean...
I'm sorry I brought that up.
I just wondered,
Robert, I used to see my mother giving him money. After my father died, she lived up in that apartment. She had Georgie. I used to see Ralph come up. Mama go to the apartment and give him some money. Cause
Jesus,
you
man.
gotta give a man some money, they gotta see it. I said, Ma, he either goes or I go.
Did he go?
I didn't go, when I went before he went there, I don't he went when I was gone.
That's after your father died.
Oh, yes, Mother never had no one but Daddy.
No.
Until after, no.
Nobody, Ralph had him, we wasn't a family, and then when they could have them, he wanted Mama.
Good for
But
him.
Mama wouldn't believe me.
Mom she did go to the movies, I think, once a week. I don't
on
think she went over that.
Thursday nights, remember?
I think it Johnny gets money.
Dot, were you there the night that they showed the film that Johnny was in?
But Phil.
Yeah.
At
Yes,
the movies?
Yes. Yeah, and I forgot to tell you
I
all
never
of
saw
that.
that.
No,
You
you
didn't see
were
that?
married and gone. That was the time that we found out that Johnny was a prisoner of war.
Yeah.
And Mother got up and she screamed and screamed, oh, there's my son, there's my son. And Mrs. Emmons came down because Mom was screaming, so everybody loved my mother. They did.
My
She
son
says,
used
what
to
is
work
wrong,
there.
Mrs. Boyce? What is wrong? She says, that's my son, I know it's my son. So she says, you stay till after the movie's over with, and we'll play it back there and stop it, to be sure. Because he had been missing for about 5 or 6 months, and we didn't know if he was alive or dead.
Said in action.
And it was Johnny. And I think it was about a week or two later, we found out that he was a prisoner of war. But it
About
was
a
him.
year. He was a prisoner about a year or more.
He walked.
I was talking to,
He was in the
the
army.
minister down here.
Yeah, he was in the infantry. He was taken prisoner of war, I think, the second day in the invasion of Normandy, or the third.
I bet you that film is still,
His whole troop that...
they still have that film.
Where is it?
I bet you that they've got that like in all those newsrooms, they still have
I
those.
never saw it.
From what I understood from Johnny, was we didn't talk about it much, but he did tell me that he was no hero. He didn't want to go over the shoved. He was more than shoved over, but he wasn't the only one. But he says all the lieutenants and all in his division, they all got killed, and they had the papers, and no one, of course, stopped and took the papers off the bed. They kept going. So nobody knew which direction to go into because
He used to say they hit him because he didn't walk.
No, I'm talking about before he was taken prisoner of war.
No.
And the privates didn't know which way to go, so they was taken prisoner of war. But he escaped 3 times and got beatings.
He told me that.
Yeah, 3 times. He got wicked beatings.
So how much of an age difference is there between Freddie and Johnny?
Well, let me see. Between Freddie and Evelyn, there's 4 years.
That's what his Jim Johnny and me.
So there's 8 years
I mean,
difference.
Johnny and you
4 years.
are 4 years. And how many years younger is Freddie from you?
Fred died when he was
73.
71, 72.
Yeah.
How many years has Fred been dead? 2 or 3.
This will be his third
2
Christmas.
years. He wanted to,
Has Dick's been dead
he's got
6
some.
years? Yeah, they've been married, been dead 4 years.
He couldn't swallow.
And he's been to,
And awful disease.
must be 2 or 3 years, must be 3 years, 2 years this year, oh, they're 3.
Freddie's third Christmas gone.
Yeah,
He
He
3
died.
years in November.
he died before his birthday.
3 years in November.
His birthday's November 16th. Alberta died.
So he was 71, you said, when he died?
So he'd be 74. And you're how old?
81.
So 8 years difference?
No, I want that much to. No, was he 73 when he died?
He was 73 when he
He was
died.
73 when he died 3 years ago. So that, he'd be 76 if he were alive today.
Must be, I'd be 5 years older.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
And 4 years between you and Johnny, and he was born right up. No, Catherine was born after you.
Yeah,
Boy,
Catherine,
Mom had those babies fast, didn't she?
Catherine was a year, 2 years younger than I was.
Not as close.
But there were 8 of you in all.
Yeah.
Nine
children.
never.
Is that counting Mildred too, or is that just counting?
No,
Yeah.
Mother had 8 children of her own.
Your mother had 8 children.
Yeah. Either of us were friends.
That's quite a large family.
You see, Johnny, me,
They said the soup got thin.
Isabel, Dot, Marge.
You forgot Catherine.
I was at Cat.
And it's
There's Johnny, Evelyn, Catherine,
Fred,
Freddie, Isabel,
and
Dot,
Dorothy,
Marge, and Georgie.
Marjorie, and Georgie. 8.
yeah,
And then he had Mildred by his first marriage.
Yeah.
First marriage.
Is that the only one he had?
yeah.
Yes.
So who was Dale Graves then? Because I can remember
then
her.
right across the road.
I can remember her.
from
She
us.
lived across from the school, kind of.
Peavine, their husband.
Well, she did
He
when you
lived
knew her.
across from us at the house.
She did when you knew her, lived across
Her
the
name
school.
was Dale, used to be Dale Benway.
And it was when she died, Dale Benway. Because they went to get the birth certificate for her son,
20.
and she found out that her and Dwight never got married.
They were always drunk.
I like Peavine.
Remember one that day, fighting over
Yes,
there?
I did.
Oh.
I like Dale. She
I
can't see.
did, I like Peavine.
But Mom was still jealous of her.
And they used to send over a suitcase full of stuff, with liquor.
She'd come over and say, he's staying
And
the
the
night.
house would get raided, you know?
Oh, was it
Peavine had it.
Oh, yeah.
He was a smuggler.
Of course I was.
He sent up
He got it, and
Alcohol was illegal?
He'd go to Canada and get his
Of course
smuggler.
it was.
So how could he buy Valentine beer then?
We bought beer, could buy beer.
Oh, it was liquor that was outlawed.
Yeah.
He hit it with
And we had a lot of little fights going on over there.
Yes, I can
Robin.
remember
Let
them
me tell
putting it
you.
over there. in
Between
the
her and
hall.
Peavine
They-
in there.
they-
Oh.
They sold it.
Then in the end, Peavine, he goes down to Wells and gets her pregnant and marries her.
That's right, because he never
That's
did
right.
right. So he didn't have to get a divorce.
They had
She
just
had a
like
good
that
husband, Harold Stevens.
Yes, she did.
there.
I still like Eleanor.
But they used to bring them
like
suitcases
Cindy's
over to
land.
us, and they would tell
She
my
never touched
father, you don't know what's in it, don't open it. They get the
Who used to
word,
bring those over?
damn Peavine Graves.
Peavine? Is that his real name?
No.
That was his nickname.
Elton,
I know.
Elton. Elton Green.
Probably because they named their son Elton.
I think his name was Elton.
Was it EL or AL?
A.
God, he went to.
So he
He had a
smuggled,
filling station up in Morrisville there for a while.
so he smuggled alcohol from Canada?
Yeah.
Solid. Oh.
He didn't walk good. Remember he had a bad leg?
Yes, he was a cripple, but you know he was a
And when he
good
was
guy.
afraid he was gonna get raided, he'd bring the suitcases over to your house?
Yeah. I don't know, do you remember that?
No.
Yes, I remember that,
Remember
Doc, but
that,
Ellen was gone then. I remember, I was wondering what was going on. Okay.
No, I was
And
gone.
little Peavine and
I
Al.
know his
They were
mother.
back.
I can remember them coming over and saying there's gonna be
I
problems.
had a big, I knew Peavine, and I liked him.
We liked them both.
I can remember them saying there's gonna be problems tonight.
Yeah, she was saying, and then the kids stay with us.
There's sad news tonight, there's a lot of problems. We look out that window, wait for it.
Nothing ever happened?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
They even have dogs.
Hey, people
Oh,
are
hey,
raising
the dogs.
prison at.
When you have those on the radio.
He had to go to prison.
Yes, he
Levi
did.
did.
It's too bad, too.
I know
He
it.
wasn't the only one.
I like
Like,
it.
you know?
I
They all are
like it a
doing
lot.
it.
I know.
Well, that's how they probably fed their kids.
No, was it him or her that had the money?
She handled the money, I think.
Yeah, I know,
Because
but
they
they
used to fight over
had money, Marjorie, did. Either her mother or his.
So when do you think this was? About what date? 19
that. Oh, God, before Daddy died. Long before Daddy died. We were just little kids looking out that
So
window.
1920s?
No, I was born 1928.
So it'd be the 1930s.
Early, yeah, but you don't want to forget, you went to bed early and you looked out the window,
Oh, God.
even though you weren't supposed to. You're supposed to go to bed and go to bed, but we walked and we listened down the register all the time. Maybe that, we weren't supposed to.
Oh,
I don't wonder that had us going to 2-3 different churches.
After that man is gonna play the organ and sing.
Mr. Bird,
Bird! We went to his church one time.
every Sunday night, and we had to listen to him.
Oh, he had to be, like, I always on the air.
And your father didn't even have a singing voice, and we had to sit there and sing.
They had a dog, and the dog would howl right along with it.
Yes. Not one of us had really.
Reverend, his name was Marge.
I was on the air, Dale.
I was looking at that light.
Do you remember when all the camps were around Lake Lemoyne?
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
They used to have nigger chauffeurs. I don't even call them niggers, do you?
Well, that's okay, I'll fix it for you, Evelyn.
Boy, there's three rich people down there, have great big
No,
limousine,
it's
and have chauffeurs, and they'd be black, I should say Negroes.
They
I
used
can't
to-
remember
They
that.
used to come and get Dad, goddamn, and they even sent for big flowers.
Can you remember when they had that ride on a sled? What was that called? Toboggan?
Yeah.
That's the ones that Mama used to work for all them rich people.
I know. I used to walk down there to work with
Have
them.
limousine and that.
They never gave her a ride, Evelyn.
You can't see the,
Why?
where are they?
They never gave Mom a ride.
They were dark.
They had black chauffeurs, and so those people live in the camp?
Honey, just for the summer.
Just some.
Oh, they were summer
For the
homes.
winter.
No, they weren't there that winter.
But did they own them or did they rent them?
They owned them.
Yeah, I owned them.
When your grandfather died, a lot of them sent flowers and came to his funeral.
Too bad they didn't send money so that you could have.
Too bad that they didn't have the chauffeur pick Mom up to go down and scrub their houses too.
Thought I can remember.
Because I was about 2 miles to walk every day.
I remember all them
Down it.
limousine go by the house there with a whole.
Can you remember that Dad would let us ride on that block of ice?
Yeah.
Let me go down and he'd let us go down and watch.
Oh, down there with them all over the,
Where the tanks are.
Yeah.
Lake Lemoyne.
They just got ice down there for the.
Oh, for the ice house. For the
They
ice
had
house.
ice house and more stuff. That was down by.
Yes, we got
It
ice.
was down there by Ward's Mill there.
I think I used to suck that ice, I came over there a lot.
Just keep it in the winter with sawdust on it.
Yeah,
We had
yeah.
it up on
So did
the
you go there to
farm.
get your ice?
That ice man.
Oh, an ice
They
man.
brought an ice.
I've got a question for you too.
25 cents a block.
Mom's got a picture of,
That ice man.
Grandpa with a meat wagon in Hardwick.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
So he must have delivered meat at
Yeah,
one
those are
time.
Evelyn's pictures.
Yeah, but I don't know about that.
He's pretty young then.
He was handsome too.
And that horse there with that uniform outfit on. I don't know anything about that.
Do you remember the doll he had?
Yeah, it
Our dogs and your dads?
Yeah.
No, he had more than one.
Oh, yes, one was glass, so he made one for himself.
I thought we all had one.
No,
No, I had only one.
he had one there, and he would
Where is it?
tap on the
Well,
board.
Jesus, I'd like to know because he called it Marge.
He'd have a board. Again, he'd take that doll and don't let it stick and
He'd tap on it and
that doll with
sing it.
that.
But we had more than one doll.
Yes, you
Because he
did.
took turns dancing those dolls, I can remember.
Yeah.
And he said, tonight is Marjorie's doll dancing. The one on the stick.
So did he sing when you
Yes,
danced?
he did, but I can't remember his voice.
Wasn't that good?
All I can,
Martin, the minister.
I can tell you too,
Reverend.
with Daddy, you never talked unless you were spoken to. You did not interrupt him.
No, no, no.
Never.
No.
Nor did you speak while his radio was on.
Oh,
Listen to Amos and Andy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you just didn't do it.
Who was that newsman then?
Oh, Gabriel Heater.
Yeah, that's him.
Gabriel Heater.
Yeah, that was.
Sad news
Oh,
tonight.
you remember that name?
Gabriel Heater, I can't spell it though.
Anybody want ginger ale?
Gabriel Heater. Heater? Say it, Evelyn.
Gabriel?
Said it.
Gabriel Heater.
Gabriel Heater.
That was just.
Like heater, like a stove heater?
I can't remember, only just saying sad news tonight. Signing off, this is Gabriel Heater, see you again Sunday.
Yeah.
I can remember that.
Used to have old radios back at where I can't, what the name of the radios? They were old.
Were they Victrola? No, Victrola.
Gabriel Heater.
Damn, Evelyn, that one I have the round record.
Yeah. And with a
Cylinders?
Yeah.
The little cylinders?
Wouldn't I
Yeah.
love that?
Yeah, I remember Grandma Evelyn had one of them. I can't remember we ever had one.
The Victrola, we did have one.
We didn't have one of them now.
Yeah, but you must remember this.
We didn't have a
I'd like to
round
get it on tape, or your mind is fresh. Why did Dad hate Mother's mother?
I don't know that.
Well, did he have a fling with her before Mama?
I don't know that.
Jesus, you're not helping me at all. Because she's buried right next to Dad.
I know.
Mama gave him the
We
land.
gave him permission.
No, but Dad didn't want her,
No, he didn't like
he
her.
did not like her.
He didn't like her.
There was a reason why, but I don't know what it was.
I never knew.
Never knew what that was.
I never knew.
I gotta go.
I know he didn't like her, but I didn't know why.
Of course, she was Daddy's age. Grandma Evelyn.
Yeah, but she's supposed to been married a couple times.
Yeah, I can't find Mom's birth certificate either.
He never went back to Johnson.
No, I haven't been back over. I've been bugging him about Johnny's.
I remember saying she works in Johnson.
Oh, God. What?
I heard the other day that where Johnny's was, it burnt. The town clerk burned down.
Couldn't have been.
How come she got it for Ruth?
How
I
could?
got it from Ruthie's sister-in-law.
Well, maybe you did, but I got Johnny's birth certificate for Ruth when Johnny died, because she had to have it. So I got it in Johnson.
Mama used to work in Johnson. Maybe it's down, if it's in Johnson.
I know, but I've looked under
What did she
pages.
do in Johnson? Did she paint houses?
I don't know what she did.
So how'd she get to Johnson?
I don't know how anybody got anywhere.
Maybe you
I
walked.
don't. Where did Daddy meet Mama?
I know, because where was she from?
We don't know.
Oh, you don't know where she was from?
I can't even find her birth certificate, so really.
Well, where did your grandmother live then?
Everywhere.
Well, maybe your mother...
Grandma Aitken lived in Marshall for a little while, but Grandma Aitken lived in New Hampshire. And that's where Uncle Guy, Uncle Fred, and Uncle Harry were born in New Hampshire. I've got their birth certificates. That I know.
Yeah, but where did they meet one another?
Maybe they were friends of the family when they lived in when the others lived in New Hampshire.
Don't know.
I never knew.
Never knew how
I
Dad.
never knew how he met her.
They never talked about.
They never
They
told.
didn't talk about that stuff, did they?
Well, God.
You know
The
what?
word sex was never mentioned. Didn't know there was such a word.
We didn't even know what pregnant was, did we?
No,
And then
we
when
did
they
not.
Too
flew
bad that we
back to-
couldn't look at the family Bible.
I haven't got that. I
But you
think
know what? It might have
Yeah.
stuff written in it.
there is stuff written in it.
Bob Daddy might have where Mama was born in it.
Yeah.
Well, it is,
You think Wanda would ever let you look at it?
I don't know.
No, she wouldn't.
Last night, when I talked to her a long time ago, she said she hadn't got it. It was out in the shed, out in the barn, in a box.
So who's friends with Wanda?
None of us.
None of us.
So she
She
was...
wants to be, friendly,
She
and
was
make
very
sure you
fast.
come in and see us. Like I said, the door is open. I tell that to Freddie and Jimmy.
I saw her down at field day this summer, but she said hello and goodbye.
Well, she came to my 50th wedding anniversary.
She didn't visit.
You don't think she'd let you just look at the
Yeah, I think
Bible?
she'd let you look at
Yeah.
it. She definitely won't let you have it, but she'll let you
No,
look.
no, but you wouldn't want to let her keep it.
Yeah, I would like it. There's
No, all the birth certificates.
everything is in there.
I wonder if
Even when Marjorie had whooping cough and Bob had the measles.
would you all like to look at it?
Yeah, I bet.
She lives up there in Walden.
But maybe we could all go up and she could take it out and let us look at it. We could just write down what we want to know. Want to do that? Want to call her and see?
What?
Why not?
We could all,
She told Margie she had things for me, but I don't see them. Didn't you tell me one? I told you she had some pictures.
She's got, Freddie died, he had bureau drawers full of pictures.
Did she tell you that she had something? She was gonna
Something,
get?
but I can't remember what it was, Evelyn. What did I tell you?
I don't remember.
She said it just hurt her too much to go through her father's things.
well, you know what? Maybe it really does because it must have
Oh,
been
of course it
awful
did.
losing them
Well,
both.
they were very devoted,
Oh, yeah.
just like you are to your father. Of course they
Well,
are.
they didn't care that much for their parents, either. You know that, Marge?
What did she just say?
Said the kids didn't care for Fred number.
Rhonda worshipped her father.
I know they do, Marge, but he had. Freddie and Alberta had their ways, correcting the kids. They didn't have that, well, Jimmy told me that too.
What?
They didn't have that such a good life with their mother and father. They made you think sort of like Johnny.
I know
They're the boss.
I know that Freddie hated Rhonda's husband.
Yeah, but Jerry, I know that.
And that is because, he was running out on Wanda. And Freddie knew
I know
it.
that.
And that Freddie was gonna kill him if he ever did it again.
They did.
That I know, I've got it right in writing,
Yeah,
right at the house.
but
A letter from Jimmy that he
they
wrote for
gave the
me.
kids a very hard time bringing them on.
They were very strict.
They were,
Well, your father and mother were strict with you too.
yeah,
Strict, there was no one any stricter. We couldn't do
So you know
nothing.
what? Maybe that's why Freddie was strict. He
could be. I didn't realize that about Freddie until Jimmy told me. Little Freddie
They
told
always
me.
act loving family.
They do, a lot of times people do there. I didn't realize it until the kids told me about
I
it.
didn't know.
You know?
I didn't
And
know.
more than I knew about Johnny, that was so with Ruthie. Bossing and so
He
forth.
was.
Well, Ruthie gave Johnny a hard time too now. She was kinda tiptoeing there too, you know.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, but he beat down their friends when somebody died or anything. She'd stay in the kitchen with the men, and us women stay in the living room.
You're right, Evelyn. I remember those things too. I remember that. I can remember the day that Daddy died.
I do.
You and I were there, looking through the window.
You came and told me there was stuff coming out of my father's face, and blood was coming out, the
That's
blood
right.
vessel broke.
He told us to go out on the porch and get out of the room.
Or when he coughed, he didn't want us around him, and he
Never-
got the coughing.
No, he wouldn't let us stay in.
So I had to get his meals, because mother was in hospital, had an operation on her
Surgery that
elbow.
morning.
Yeah, she fell out in the woodshed.
No, Evelyn, she ran her arms through the darn ringer washing
I thought she
machine there.
stumbled out in the woodshed.
There.
I know she also fell going to work, broke her nose.
God, she was always
She's
falling.
always falling down.
Well, God damn it, she
I
never
think
did
maybe
any
you
work.
got to feel better the Huntington.
She actually had Huntington's career disease,
I know.
even then.
Yeah.
Nobody knew it. I mean,
I remember her dropping
when
stuff.
a woman will walk 4 miles down to Gregory's to work when it's below zero and walk
Oh,
home, I know, I went
me.
there and went with her many a day.
So your mother,
Cars and trucks.
so your mother was in the hospital when your father died?
Yes.
She had surgery that morning and Freddie had Pete Sears go right to the hospital and get her. Pete Sears lived next door. And I don't know why, if he came home for dinner or what, but he came over.
Yes, and I hollered to Pete when he was coming down. He stayed with the neighbors next door.
But Dad died at
Oh,
5
what?
o'clock, didn't he, Doc?
I don't remember what time it was.
Well, I do.
I was going to get dinner or supper.
supper, 5 o'clock.
I think there, because
I had gone down
I'd
on,
forgotten the
So he
green
died before
cheese.
anybody got to him?
Yeah.
He'd already
well,
died.
yes, because of the doctor had to take time to do what he was doing. I mean, they weren't like jumping on your horse and coming right down those days when you were poor people. They came when they got through doing what they had to do, and I'll never forget that doctor in my life, and I hate him today. Yes, he was a babe.
I remember Dr. Bates, they always said Dr. Bates was the one that delivered me.
Who was that other one that we didn't like, that always wanted you to take your dress off if you hurt?
I never did though.
Oh, God. Because I had to go for him.
It
when
wasn't
I
no
stepped on
dogs,
his
they were
knee.
wonderful.
Not the Goddard, no.
Johnson, I like
There was another one.
I like Dr.
so-
Johnson. Like him.
But I can remember finally he got there, and of course by that time Dad was dead. But the nerves in his body were still jumping in him. They put him in that wicker basket, and I told him to take my daddy out of there. I can remember that. And he
Like
said
I
he's
said,
dead,
the
and his
blood.
body's moving.
He broke a blood vessel when he was coughing.
They
That's
said-
like on the
They said
blood
blood clot
zone.
went to his heart.
So it was like an aneurysm?
Said blood clot went to his heart.
They didn't do an
That's what they said.
autopsy though, did they?
No, they didn't do nothing.
Back in the.
And I just know the undertaker wanted to take his new artificial leg off of him. I often wonder if they did. And my mother said no, he waited waited a year to get that
Well,
leg.
the state paid for them.
That's right, but mother did not want it taken off of him.
You know, he walked good over that, but it came in.
It bothered him terrible
It
when the
bothered-
nerve
it bothered-
ending
it
were,
bothered
you
the
know?
That was the richest leg in the town of Morrisville. That's where all our money went for.
Put a pin in.
So did they
Just
take,
have Richard, my son, put money in there.
Yeah, so we never got ours back though, you know, I think about the bread.
Richard Junior didn't either. He'd hear
Oh,
him bang when they went down in there.
He paid us for taking the,
tell me about the medicine that he made and that he gave you.
oh God, he made every medicine there is. I swear to God.
His raised up his hands along the skunk oil.
Oh,
Pennzoil, an onion syrup there
They
for
used
our
the fat
cow.
off the skunk.
They used a part off a skunk?
Fat off the
Yeah.
skunk,
Oh,
bring it
yeah.
down, and usually all the
Chicken fat, chicken fat,
Then when you had a hole, they grease you up with that.
yeah.
always stunk.
They did. Mother West did the same thing.
So what did they do? They rubbed it on you?
Yeah.
Like
Like
drip
hot
paper?
flannel. Just like
Hot
this.
flannel.
And then they put a hot flannel over it to keep it in there.
Yeah.
And boy, if you didn't choke to death, you got better.
Well, he made an onion syrup for the
So
cow.
who was the lucky person that caught the skunk?
I don't know why they got.
I don't know either. I don't know.
Onion was, onion but sugar in it.
Yeah.
So what was
That was
it?
for, that was for cough syrup.
I hate it.
What was that slimy stuff that he made that you had to take for some whatever?
The cough, wait a minute, the cough syrup was onion?
And sugar.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They thought it the same way, I guess everybody did, made their own.
They all made their own medicine. There was no such thing as penicillin stuff back in
No.
our day. Of course they made it.
So what was the onion and sugar was a cough syrup?
Yeah.
They boiled it down with
But
water.
don't you remember the ginger
It
tea?
would be
Oh,
thick.
God, yes.
The ginger tea, I love that.
I didn't like
I love
it.
ginger tea.
That was a real ginger tea.
Yeah, I loved it.
Mom made that. Oh,
Did she use ginger root?
No, they do, Dad used to make it, Mother and Dad West made it, they call it ginger water. They take ginger and vinegar and sugar and water.
Okay, use
For
it
belly
for,
aches.
when you go for
Sugar and water.
When
It was
you
for
go-
belly aches?
that's what they gave it to me for
I
stomach
never had it
aches.
for belly
What
ache.
about the sick toast?
I had it for drink,
The what?
The sick toast and
Wet
they said
toast.
huh?
wet toast.
What was
It was wet, but what was on that?
Mother
It's
used
butter.
to fix
Oh,
a
yeah.
slice of toast, Robin, butter on it and hot water.
Water, they
Hot water, some pepper.
They put it down with hot water and put
Sick toast.
butter on it, it was good.
It was, for sick toast.
I always thought it
Well,
was.
when we were sick, that's what we got. They called it sick toast,
I got it.
right?
I had that in the hospital, because I, when he, so one of the nurses says, I'll go and get you a sick toast, Dottie.
Can't you remember going with a bag and picking up those weeds for him and he's
Yeah.
throwing them down?
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
I don't ever remember going to the doctors.
no. We
You
did
used to
a,
buy liniment from the rolling man and fix you hot with liniment
oh,
sugar water.
another thing Dad drinks a lot, we had to soften the lemons, remember, Mike? Soften the lemons and he put hot water and sugar and a little bit of baking soda. Then after you drink that, you have to jump in the bed, because they usually was the one with the colds. What?
Lemon and baking soda and sugar and water?
I
Yeah.
got lemon.
I think he got a little modern after you left. And I don't know
He
where
did
the
it.
lemons either.
Then we had to.
We used to soften
played
them.
it and soften them,
We had to keep going back
They're
and
back and
forth.
forth.
No, we did that, when you make lemonade, just to roll them.
To get the juice out.
I always did that.
Oh, see?
I think we were totally raised on cornbread.
I love
We,
it.
well, Mom made bread too.
Yeah.
She made donuts. Freddie made fun of her donuts.
So where did the popcorn come from? Did you
Dad
guys
raised
grow
it. Dad raised his own popcorn.
Just got bear pop.
Yep, he used to hang it up out in the shed. Popcorn every
A
Sunday
lot of
night.
people raise popcorn, bear
Yeah.
pop.
Yeah, remember the, people, Thompson's beer
Yeah.
pop popcorn?
Bear pop.
Dad raised it. But we only had
It was shaped like a bear pop.
Oh, it was shaped like a beer paw?
Your dad was just a bear. Then you shuck the corn off like, oh.
I don't think there was a thing in that garden, even the weeds that Dad wasted. The
No.
weeds we used for medicine
Yep.
and the food we ate. I don't care
So
what was
meat,
there.
did you ever have beef
Not
Yeah,
that
some-
much.
Not too much.
We
on
had
Sundays?
We'd either have beef one Sunday. We always had jello with real cream.
So yeah,
for
that was
dessert.
Herb used to bring us
And,
milk and
and
stuff
we either
down.
have chicken biscuit gravy. That was our good meal on Sundays, either beef or chicken.
And Dad raised the chickens.
And don't forget the church gave us a lot of Christmas.
I can't ever
money.
remember. I
You
can't
said-
never remember.
That was
You
box
said-
food.
I never had turkey when I was home.
I can remember when Dad, I
You
can,
didn't have the money, Rob.
I can remember before Daddy died, he must have been 11 then. You and I always wanted to see Santa Claus. And we had this register in our bedroom, we kept looking down, Nellie, remember Nellie used to come down to visit all the time, we used to watch her.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, yeah. But anyways, we used to watch.
Toss
this-
them off.
We, ooh. And Daddy, for only weighing about 100 pounds, had the deepest voice when it was to be Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's Dottie's here, he's here. Well, we snuck down and looked. There was Dad out on the porch, jingling the bells that were way more than he did. And the only Christmas presents we got were what you bought us, Evelyn, and handkerchiefs all over the tree, and what the Salvation Army and the Red Cross and the church
Oh,
gave
the
us.
church.
And I can always remember our color books, all the pages were colored.
You wanted.
And I said to Dad, how come Santa Claus colored my pictures? He says, 'cause he loved you so much, he wanted to do it first and you follow. Then I wanted to know why the creams were all broken. I asked questions all the time.
Yes, monster.
Well, he said he colored so hard he broke them. But he always had a story to tell you.
Didn't they?
I questioned everything we got.
I know you.
But we never got anything new.
No?
Only what Evelyn bought us.
I bet Nellie and Bob Goodman had bought a viola.
Yes.
I like
And I think you bought us underwear.
Yeah.
Every Christmas you gave us
So
underwear.
what were underwear made out of? Were they cotton or?
Cotton.
wool?
Cotton.
With a elastic in the leg.
Yeah.
So they were long. They were long.
Oh, yeah, it came way down to your
Patty.
stockings, you just pulled them down.
Yeah.
And we had to pull them way down to our stockings in the winter,
Let me tell you.
with long underwear.
So Evelyn, tell me about, you and Norma going to the dance down on Woodbury Lake.
Oh my God, I love that time.
I just interviewed some people last weekend that used to go to that dance too.
I go up there, Aunt Marty had somebody that drove milk truck. She'd tell him to pick me up. I'd go up. Oh, I love to go down.
From Wolcott or from Morrisville or?
Morrisville, at Creamery, they'd come down and milk.
They bring
Tell
you
him
to
come get
Woodbury?
me. Yeah. She'd tell him to come get me. And I'd ride up on the milk truck with her, and we get up there, and Aunt Marty put apples, and mine and Norma's hair up on rags, so her hair would look fairly good to the school dance. Aunt Marty always had a feather tick, and was sleeping in that bed, and she was great to go right down there. I love that feather tick. Oh my God, I had such a best time.
She was a wonderful Aunt Maud, wasn't
Oh,
she?
yeah.
Now the dances were down on Woodbury Lake at the lake house, weren't they?
The schoolhouse.
Oh, they were up at the schoolhouse? Were they real bands that played there?
I can't remember that.
They must have been there. They were when I went.
It was what?
Real bands.
She said it was real bad.
Do you remember a band that used to play on the radio called something in the Pony Boys?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, Money Boys, they were from Waterbury.
Yep, this woman's about your age that was talking about the Pony Boys.
Yeah, they were from Waterbury.
choice.
Do you remember any other bands?
Yeah.
No.
Any other famous bands?
That's my Christmas.
Yeah, we talked about Dusso's Barn Dance.
Yeah.
They,
Just up there.
yeah.
Years ago, Dick, I couldn't dance. My father never let me go dancing. I sit down and watch Dick dance.
They had the band.
Made me so mad in there.
And that was after Daddy died.
Yeah.
She's talking about with Norma, with her.
Yeah, she used to go with Norma to the dances.
In Napa.
And that's what, you know, Norma is doing really well.
Kind of bigger.
I talked to,
Maybe you want.
they talked to Joe. I actually talked to Guyla, who's really good friends with Joe, and Guyla is the one that found Norma when she had her stroke. And Guyla said that Norma is a lot happier in that nursing home than she was. Not that she wasn't happy with
She might be
Joe.
quite old now. She was 83 when we went out.
Yeah, but apparently, like, children and stuff would bother her, you know, having them around all the time. And I guess she's really happy where she is now. She's doing really well, and they brought her up this summer for a couple days up to the farm.
One can, a can.
And Guyla stopped and saw her, and she said Norma was the best she's seen her in years.
My gee, how many years ago was that? She was 83 then.
That was a couple years ago, wasn't it? A couple summers ago.
Be 85 years ago.
Yep.
I used to have my grandma, Jan Monty.
Did you
Yeah, no, I like
did you know Norma's husband really well, Harold?
I knew both of them.
it.
It was funny. Emma was a homeless. She had the best looking man. Arma was pretty, and she had the homeless man.
And they married brothers, right?
Yeah.
Sisters married brothers.
I can remember. I remember Myrtle. Their sister Myrtle, she died. I remember her. Remember her husband, name was Carol.
And what was his name?
Carol.
Did they live in Woodbury too?
Yeah.
So was that Murdy, Aunt Murdy? Myrtle?
And Marge's daughter.
Yeah. Was she young when she died, or?
I
don't know what she died with him.
Huh.
I thought they said she had cancer of the bowels, but I don't know if it's true or not. Always when Kennedy come back so I could ask him questions.
Yeah?
What's that? You don't need to give me your fudge.
It isn't, it's mine.
It is, okay. I'll hold it for you.
No, it's for you!
But she made him give it away for her.
Well, I mean,
I just want a piece. I don't want you to give me everything.
well, I got, where
Can I just
have one piece? If you waited long enough, you turn five, I made it for her.
You made the whole batch for her?
Yes.
Look at her. She's
I
taking it,
know.
and she's afraid you're gonna take it away from her.
I'm telling you, it's for you!
She's telling you wrong.
I filled up that.
She always
stuff.
tells me.
This is my Christmas present. I'm giving y'all both some of it. I thought that was nice of you. I didn't have to, did I, though?
No. Well, we didn't have much.
Don, you have a nice place here.
I like it.
There's yours. I gotta get me
That's good popcorn. Popcorn and fudge with a.
Did you give Evelyn enough?
Yeah, that's all I want. Want some ginger ale, I think, water's lousy. I think I drank it before now.
Don, do they chlorinate your water?
Yes, I hate it.
I like it.
Check that hot water.
Got him off a fast having a beer. I laughed at him when she wouldn't come so fast and all the time to his ethanol. I laughed at my own mother there. I said, gee, she's chewing gum for the government, ain't she? That's what she said. Yeah, that's something they said. I said, you know who that is? I said, that's ethanol. I said, oh my God, I wonder what we're talking about. I told her to, I said, I've been making fun of you.
Oh, that is good. That makes her better.
I didn't even know she drank a beer.
Lot of things.
So when you went to dances, did people bring their own beer to the dances?
Oh, yes.
Bring your own? They didn't have a bar?
liquor.
But you couldn't take it inside.
No.
Had to drink it outside.
Oh, you drank it outside and then went inside?
Yeah.
When we went, when we went,
Thanks,
no, when we was,
We did.
when I was one
I
day,
never drank. Did
we
you
used to
guys?
go to
No.
dances and you take your own sunshine box, you know?
And we raffled them off.
And they'd raffle them off.
And what was in the sunshine box?
You like banana, cake, sandwich, which one do you eat?
Oh, so it's,
Yeah, what do they call it now? What do they call it now?
they have another name for it, right?
What is that?
I don't know.
You sent them down to the school, Richard went to school third eye.
They raffled off your, and you didn't, they didn't know who they were buying either.
Yeah.
Churches do that. Churches used to do that.
They did? What do you call it?
It was like a picnic
A
type.
social.
Yeah, yeah,
What did you call it?
ice cream social. No,
You know what?
no,
Something about social.
Yeah, they've always did that back in those days, but I never went to one.
Oh, God, I'm
That was fun. You didn't never know what you were gonna eat with.
That one time.
Oh, and what did you do? You didn't eat with the person?
They got
Didn't eat
drunk.
the one that bought you bought.
Oh,
You didn't eat.
That's how a lot of those marriages back in your day came up, because they'd buy you a box, and then you would either fall in love with them or whatever.
Oh, shut up. I was married. They didn't get mad at me 'cause somebody ate with me like somebody did.
You mean you was married and you was...
Yeah, Richard was going to school to Paradise Valley and they just had them, what'd you say they were called?
well, you said they were sunshine boxes, but they were like a social
Then
that,
you take your box, they sold them in a lot.
did it.
How much you been there? 25 cents, 50 cents, $1. Then they did it to raise money for the school, like school raises money now and selling candy and
did they tell them what was in the box before they did?
No.
Never surprise, huh?
Yeah.
But we never went to one.
Huh?
Don, I never went.
I went to
Well, I went to them
one.
with
And
Dad.
I never drank, only the Dad let me have a foam off his beer, remember?
But they didn't drink then. They didn't drink when I first married him. No. When we was married, he'd buy a 6-pack of beer and we come in and have beer with him. And
I
we
was-
were going on, he got to...
I was always happy to hear Dad say to Mom, "Get my malt." M-A-L-T, malt.
Yeah.
Because we knew he was going to make his home brew, and we would get our root beer. 'Cause he always made our root beer when he made this.
I always loved homemade.
Oh, God, he made good root beer.
I love beet wine, too. Helped Dad make beet wine one time.
Beet
You
wine?
did?
Oh, I love beet wine.
No, I never had any of
So
that.
how do you make that, Evelyn?
You cook the beets from the garden and use the juice and sugar and yeast cake. I loved it.
But that is,
I bet that was good. I never had any.
Boy, it was ting.
honey used to make.
Did you ever make
Sweet wine.
I can remember Mother used to get mad because Dad would say, "Marge, you can have the foam off my beer," and she didn't want me to drink. She was deaf against drinking, you know that.
I know that.
But he let me just have a foam.
Yeah.
I loved it.
You just,
I think he almost
you just keep sucking and.
Hey, I was just a baby. Christ, I couldn't have been over 6'7".
Everybody made, Dad West made his own.
Of course, they made their own booze. Well, it was hard times. I was doing the Depression, Evelyn, 19 what? Depression was what?
So was that
35?
outlawed if you made your own like that?
Don't think so, they sold them all at the
I
store.
don't remember, and yeah, like, that doesn't mean you're supposed to make booze with it. They also sold it for other things. The malt. Yeah. Oh, Dad made
Root
root
beer.
beer.
So did he put the root beer in glass bottles?
He had his own capper.
Yeah.
Remember
He
you said
would push it
that?
down.
You
We
can
did the
still
work.
buy those, you know.
Huh?
You can buy those cappers now, they
Yep, we capped it. Dad would pour it in with his funnel, and we'd cap it.
Use root beer extract, sugar.
Then it had to set so long, then he'd test them to see if they sealed.
Yeah.
I think, don't they still sell them bottles of root beer extract to make root beer with?
I've got some at the house, you want it?
No, but I wonder if they still.
Yeah, they do.
I used to make it.
I made some a few years ago. I wish, you don't have a recipe for homemade root beer, do you?
I think it tells you.
They don't have a bottle. 5 pounds of sugar and so many gallons of water.
I got some right at the house. I've had it for
Because I'd
years.
like to make some.
You can have it.
That'd be fun.
One time I made some, mine blew up.
Our area used to blow up too, but
I
we put mine on wood stove.
put mine in cannon bottles and produced a guy that blowed up. Made for all sticky. I just put mine in the stove so it warmed up, you know, and use it warmed up too much. But that's right.
Did you guys have bees? Honey bees?
No.
No, but they had them up the street.
Fred raised rabbits when he was young.
And you ate them?
No, we didn't eat them, he
Oh.
sold them.
Yeah.
He also
I
was,
don't know what they did with them, they bought them from, but he sold rabbits.
I can remember Freddie getting, I want to say frogs. He sold frog legs.
Yes, we went.
God
Not
bless
saying
you,
we
you worked
didn't
so
know
hard
we
for
worked
that.
so hard to get in.
Yes, he
There
did.
was a dentist that used to buy him
Wells, Dr. Wells. Old man Wells, one that pulled the wrong tooth in my mouth.
Cause
Never forget it.
I used to, our friends, baby rabbits on the pen, he'd give me out, cause he'd take them out, Fred, they'd run away.
He was awful good to Daddy. He really was.
Oh.
And Mama. Freddie.
Oh my God,
Freddie and Johnny both were. Johnny was good to Dad.
Fred loved Dad so much.
Yeah.
You know what, Freddie looks almost identical to
Exactly
your
like his
father.
father.
I loved Dad too much too, I loved him too much. I loved Fred too much, I hurt me both of them, I loved him too.
Well, we all did, didn't we? I mean,
Yeah, but I loved him too much.
well, Evelyn, we did too.
I know he did, but I don't know. See, everything was gone when Fred was gone. I used to sit there after he died and think he was gonna call me, you know, he called me every
Well, you did get awful close.
I got it off my
Of course, that's the same thing with Dot and I. If anything ever happened to Dot, I want to be dead.
I got too attached to him.
I'm too close to her.
He called me every day,
like I used to.
Yeah. Georgie used to call me every day. Catherine would call me, but when Fred died, something snapped.
You guys been up to see Georgie lately?
I
Evelyn
guess
has. I haven't been up since I
How's she
happened to
doing?
her.
she ain't got no permit anymore. I was surprised, I hadn't been up for a couple months.
I hope they don't give her one for that.
I went in there and I said, is my sister Georgie BB up? Because going in the bedroom, I went and had blood drawn up and all stuff. I asked why she mind if she stopped, you know, I said, no, I don't mind that. And they said that she'd be right out. Pretty soon she came down in her chair. And last I was sitting in at the table while the rest of the people were. She come in, I said, but you know who I am, because I haven't been up for a long time. Evelyn, she knew me right off. I didn't think she'd know me. She started crying, she said, I miss you. I said, well, Georgie, I couldn't come out, but I've had a cold for 3 weeks. How come? I said, I couldn't give you my cold. I miss you. And then she started crying. I said, listen here, cut that out right now.
That's what this is.
Then she said, I love you.
They told me she can't help it. She can't help her crying.
But she stopped and I told her to.
But,
She said she missed me. I told her I couldn't come. I couldn't. Didn't they tell you and I that, not come in there with a cold? I did cough.
Yeah, the people in there it would really could kill them.
I tried to tell her that. I couldn't come. I had a cold for 3
She
weeks.
doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
Not with that.
But all the patients were asleep in their chairs and it was early in the morning.
well, I can remember the time when, is that thing going?
Yeah.
What?
I can remember Keith getting up and have his breakfast and sit down in his chair and right back to sleep. And then now they found out that he's got a thing in his throat that's got to come out.
Thyroid.
Yeah, and that's what made him so sleepy all these years. He wasted a lot of time sleeping, but
This could have been more than 10 o'clock because I was coming at 9. We went right out to the hospital to get my blood drawn. But I said, God, ma'am.
but you
I don't
know,
mind going in, Graham. She looks a lot better than last time I was in there, see her.
if I had my life to live over again, which of course we aren't going to,
Never know.
not the one we just had, I would like to go through it again and know what I know today and question Dad right to pieces about everything. I mean, he never told us anything about the Civil War, Grandpa. I would have really questioned him, and why did he have that silver stuff in his drawer that I used to go in and play with, that he told me to keep out of? Remember that bottle? I mean,
What did they call that?
well,
I mean,
remember that? I can picture that bill.
I've seen it too.
Quicksilver.
Huh?
Quicksilver.
I remember that in the
But
box.
why did he have that in that little jar, and he told us we couldn't touch it, and of course I did.
Magically.
And I can picture his bureau, with those little drawers up the top. Oh, wouldn't I love to have that
In
bureau?
that, or his bed. I said, them feathers, God, I hate that. Feathers.
And I can hear his voice saying,
You didn't like the feather
Doc,
jack?
No.
Doc, can you remember that?
I did them days, but I
Can you
don't-
remember Dad saying, Ellen, she's not asleep yet, Dad? I used to say, what are they talking about? Because I slept with Mother for a while. And I used to say, what does Daddy want? She says, go to sleep.
Same me. I said, I'm going to stay with Grandma Egley tonight. Slept up over the drugstore.
Never wanted us there.
And she let me stay, and Mama. And it began to get dark, and I said, I want to go home. And so I went home. I ran all the way. And I got down there and I had the door locked. Mom, I come door, Jesus Christ, but I took my head off. She come out of Daddy's room. They weren't expecting me.
So how many bedrooms did you have in your house?
Had 3 downstairs.
3?
Did have 3 down?
Yeah, you had 3, we had 3 downstairs, and we had 2 in the great big one room that they had a bed in, upstairs.
I went
As you
in.
went up top the stairs?
And I'd get in a fight with them.
But you didn't have your own rooms.
Oh, never,
Finished?
never. And Dad never finished his closets off, and Isabel used to tell me that there was bears in there.
Yeah.
And I used to, Daddy, oh, how many times did he have to come up with his flashlight to prove to me there was no bears? You kids
Oh,
got...
she was coward.
Oh, they had me scared every minute, I'm telling you, I couldn't survive the hell. Those 2 girls, they had
Well, they escaped bears.
Daddy used to say, you leave Marge alone. He really truly loved me, didn't he, Doc?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I guess I was a little troublemaker.
Thank you, work.
He loved Georgie too. He wanted the boys to matter. I don't know today if her name is Georgiana or Georgia.
That's right.
What is her name?
Georgiana.
Georgiana, then there's another name. Georgiana May? Georgiana
I
what?
don't know.
I don't know. My dad wanted a boy.
Well, he's the one that made it.
Name is George.
It isn't Mother.
I know if her name is...
Mother only had her.
I don't know if her name is Georgia or Georgiana.
So did your mother have her children at home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're on my show now.
I can remember when George was born because I didn't want her around anyways, but...